Good afternoon and welcome to the March 2023 Hogs and Pigs briefing. My name is Joe Parsons. I serve as chair of the Agricultural Statistics Board here at NAS. This briefing is for the secretary and other policymakers at USDA to better understand the content of today's report. We're pleased to have Dr. Cindy Nickerson, USDA's Deputy Chief Economist, as our secretary designate today. Dr. Nickerson, I'd like to share that Jordan Hughes of our Southern Plains office and Emily Burke of our Mountain Region office provided valuable assistance in assembling this report. I have a few notes for our live streaming audience. The Hogs and Pigs report is a principal federal economic indicator report. The Office of Management and Budget provides specific guidance on how these important reports are to be released. OMB statistical policy instructs policymaking officials not to refrain from making public comment within 1 hour of the release of these reports. Federal statistical agencies such as NAS are guided to provide for wide distribution of information in a variety of formats and be open about our processes and procedures. We will not be taking questions during this briefing from the public. However, NAS staff are available for email or phone questions, and NAS will be hosting a social media event 1 hour after the release of these data. We strive to have everything presented at this briefing match the official record. However, should there be any discrepancy between what is presented at this briefing and the published estimates, always refer to the official published estimates. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Travis Abel, Chief of the NAS Livestock Range. Travis?
Thank you, Joe. First, I would like to provide an overview of the March 2023 quarterly hogs and pigs survey data collection process. On the map of the sample sizes for the survey by state, a total of 4,518 operations were surveyed this quarter. Data collection started on February 28th and finished on the 15th of March. Normal collection methods were used to gather the data through mail, telephone, internet, and face-to-face interviews. The primary data items collected were a total inventory by class and weight group, sows farrowing, pig crop, and pigs per litter. Before getting into today's data release, I would like to cover this quarter's revisions for U.S. hogs and pigs. All inventory and pig crop estimates from March to December 2022 were reviewed using final pig crop, official slaughter, death loss, and updated import and export data. The table has the initial estimate, current revisions, the net revision, and current estimates. This is the second opportunity to revise the September 2022 estimates for all hogs and pigs on September 1st, 2022. Net revision is an increase of 0.4%, and current estimate is at 74.1 million head. For that same quarter, the pig crop for June to August was a net revision of 1.5%, and then in current estimate is at 34.1 million. This was the first quarter to revise December 2022 data. The all hogs and pigs inventory for December 1st, 2022 was a net revision increase of 1.8%. And current estimate is at 74.4 million head. In that same quarter, the pig crop was a net revision of 1.6% up, and current estimate is at 34.2 million. For the March 1st, all hogs and pigs 72 is at 72.9 million head, up 0.2% from previous year. The breeding hogs is at 6,127,000 head, up 0.5% from 2022. And market hogs is at 66.7 million head, up 0.2% from last year. We have the top 5 states in the bottom left corner. As you can see, all states except North Carolina are up year over year, and North Carolina stayed flat at 8 million head. And to the right of that is the U.S. chart of U.S. quarterly hogs and pigs inventory since 2014. The March inventories are represented by the orange squares. In the previous quarter for December is the green diamond at 72.7 million head. Here's a map of the United States for March 1, 2023, hogs and pigs inventory with comparison to 2022. The top number is inventory is a unit of 1,000 head. The bottom number is the percent change from previous year's inventory. Of the 16 states, published states in the program, 9 states are increasing from previous year. Those are in blue. The darker the color, the larger the percent change is from previous year's inventory. There are 6 states decreasing from 2022, and those are in red. And the 1 state unchanged, North Carolina, is in gray. Couple of notes to take from this map. There are 3 record highs. You can see those by the pound signs that follow the inventory: Minnesota, South Dakota, and Texas. And as you can see to the far left, the bright red state, Utah, that is a record low for this quarter. As I stated on a previous slide, market hogs is at 66.7 million head. And for the breakouts of the market hogs by weight groups, first being the less than 50 pounds, is at 20.1 million. That is down 0.2% from 2022. The 50 to 119 pound weight group are at 19 million head. They're down 0.3% from previous year. The 120 to 179 pound weight group is at 15 million head. They're down 0.1% from last year. The 180 pounds and over weight group is at 12.7 million. They're up 2.1% from 2022. And below the table is the quarterly distributions of weight groups for the last 4 years. Next, we have the South Farrow for December 2022 to February 2023 is at 2,910,000 head, down 9,000 head from previous year. Just a couple of notes: in the December hogs and pigs report for the same quarter with the second intentions was at 2,947,000 head, whereas in the September report, the first intentions for this quarter was at 2,902,000. For the second intentions for March to May of 2023, South Farrowing at 2,930,000 head. This is down 1.2% from prior year's actual farrowings. Note in the December hogs and pigs report, the first intentions for the same quarter had March to May at 2,981,000 head. The first intentions for June to August 2023, South Farrowing is at 2,973,000 head, down 89,000 from prior year's actual farrowings. At the bottom is the U.S. quarterly South Farrow chart since 2013. South Farrow for December to February are the green squares. The second intentions for March to May for 2023 is the orange diamond, and the first intentions for June to August 2023 is the purple triangle. Pig crop weaned for December 2022 to February 2023 is at 32,058,000 head, an increase of 0.3% from previous year's pig crop. Pigs per litter is at 11.02, up from last year's rate of a 10.95, however, down from the previous quarter's rate of 11.22. The chart of the U.S. quarterly pigs per litter from 2014 to current, you can see since 2019 that the pigs per litter has tapered around 11. Trade expectations compared to NAS estimates as a percent of previous year. The trade ranges are gray, trade averages are the black circles, and NAS estimates are the red squares. Of the items on this chart, all hogs and pigs, breeding herd, and market hogs are within trade expectations. Whereas trade expectations are higher for the December to February 2023 pig crop, and also the first and second intentions are higher. Next, we have the ASB first versus final estimates for our hogs and pigs for the last 10 years. ASB first and final estimates are the blue and red lines respectively, and the trade ranges are illustrated within the light gray. Just a note from this chart, 8 of the last 12 quarters, the ASB final estimate has been within trade expectations. Here's a table of the U.S. breeding herd for the last 10 years and the disposition and utilization percentage. The previous quarter breeding herd was at 6,144,000 head. During this current quarter, hog producers slaughtered 797,000 head, and at the same time added back 780,000 to the breeding herd. The current quarter's breeding herd is at 6,127,000, which is up 29,000 from last year. Sow utilization is calculated from the current quarter sows farrowed of 2,910,000 divided by the previous quarter breeding herd equates to 47.4%. The Canadian imports by quarter for feeder pigs and slaughter hogs. Canadian feeder pigs and slaughter hogs imported for the first quarter of 2023 accounted for 1,580,000 head compared to 1,561,000 in 2022. This is an increase of 1.2% from 2022. The Canadian quarter import values are above the respective quarters. Feeder pigs as a percentage of the imports are the light blue of the imports from Canada. 75% are feeder pigs or 1,185,000 head. That is down 4.6% compared to prior year's total 1,242,000. The slaughter hogs as a percentage of the imports are illustrated by the dark blue. The Canadian imports accounted for 395,000 head this quarter. That is up 23.7% from last year's total of 76,000 head. The U.S. prices received by farmers for hogs and corn. The chart provides the prices for the last 10 years. The hog prices are blue, the corn prices are red. The most current prices are for January. The February prices will be released tomorrow in the agricultural prices report. To the right of the chart are the hogs and corn prices for the last 6 months, along with the ratios. As you can see in those 6 months ratios, they have ranged from 8.81 to 11.85. All of them substantially below the break even of 15. Some selected upcoming NAS reports. Today's releases include the egg products report. Tomorrow will be agricultural prices, grain and rice stocks, and the prospective plantings. On April 3rd will be the care reports for cotton systems, fats and oils, and grain crushing and dairy products. 10th of April will be the April crop production report. April 20th, the annual livestock slaughter. April 21st, monthly cattle on feed. And then April 27th, the annual meat animal production disposition report. NASS is still collecting the 2022 Census of Agriculture, and there's still time to respond. This is your voice, your future, and your opportunity. For those who have already taken their valuable time to participate, NASS would like to thank you. The 2023 USDA Spring Data Users Meeting will be held April 18th in Omaha, Nebraska in a hybrid format. The registration link is provided, so those interested in attending, we encourage you to register. And later today, as Joe stated, I'll be hosting Stat Chat to answer any questions concerning the release of the March Hogs and Pigs report. All reports are available on the NASS official website. I appreciate everyone attending today's live streaming session and hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day. This concludes today's live streaming session.